Yeah, buckle up, rough roads ahead. So what I was saying was, and what was going on during that time period was, so soon as I told my therapist that, hey, my COVID got better, I told a couple other people my COVID got better. I said some things online. They cursed me, but I had a lot of pain from my back, so I couldn't really focus on some things. When God could get the vision to me and I could figure out how to heal my back, I looked up and it was like 75 degrees in here and like 30% humidity. And all that healing from I was able to get rid of all the congestion. Now, I don't know if it's COVID at this point or not, right? Because I had congestions before COVID, right? And it's, the sinuses are real bad right now. If you look online, like AccuWeather, it'll tell you, affecting the sinuses and dust and dander and all that. So I had to get it cool in here, but I couldn't. It's 15 degrees outside. I had to get it dropped below 70 degrees, and I couldn't. Opened the door, did all sorts of stuff. Shows you how demonic it is, what they're doing to me. Again, you need to stop them from being allowed to stop me. Just because I say things online doesn't mean that they're allowed to stop me. So I was clearing my congestion all the time. I couldn't get to the saline solution and all that stuff. Again, they cause blindness, spiritual blindness. They're devils. You need to get rid of them, and you need to get rid of them quick. It's the words of the wise asses. What I believe what happened is that President Trump, or President-elect Trump still, I guess, was elected. And they saw my life pick up. So they decided they needed to kill me before President Trump was inaugurated. Right. 100%. So I was able to find that spot on my back to release the knot, and then it would go away. When I was getting massages regularly, that's what they were. I still have not found somebody that has their skills. They would pick out knots for 2 hours. Not 2 hours, but it's 2 hours massage. They spend about an hour on my back, neutralizing knots and other things. I never would have had a problem again in my life, and they knew it. That's why they came against it. There's no backstory to it. They're all crooks, man. They're all devils. But I was able to get it, down to 69 degrees, and miraculously the congestion started clearing. I'm like 69 degrees and 43% humidity right now. But it was insane. It was 15 degrees outside, and I couldn't drop the temperature in my apartment. And I'm not like in a hallway type of apartment where the heat of the other apartments heats mine. I used to have to actually turn the AC on when I lived in that kind of an apartment because everybody else turned their heat so high. So it would go through the hallway to my apartment. Well, they saw me getting to the massage and stuff after Trump was elected. Right. So if I get to some intelligent massage therapy where they can just steadily do it, I might find a lot of healing from that. And again, a corticosteroid at the same time. Generally, what happens is your body gets relaxed to the point that it's over relaxed, and then it firms up to a comfortable firm. Right. I never thought I could figure out how to heal it at all. I stayed semi-cramped up all those years, but again, I was trying to get to massage therapy to massage my legs, and I couldn't get to it. Oh no, I just had an intense battle with congestion. And again, I can't say it's COVID for sure. Anything left over from COVID. Right. But because I had COVID, I have to cancel my appointment for Monday. I just tried to do it. It linked me into a service. It was weird. I called that doctor, and then it took me through a menu, and the next thing I know, I'm talking to a answering service, and they're like, "No, we're not that doctor's answering service." I said, "Well, it patched me into you. I don't, I believe you, but right. Right. I mean, this goes back. I mean, when you're younger and they're doing this to you, what they're doing is creating an environment where you won't be healthy in your later years. They know that. Okay. Again, when they started doing this to me, they were doing it to people that were 60 years old, and they knew their lives had failed. They're gamblers, man. They're sick. There's a ton of them that have been killed, man. A ton of them that have been terrible ends. A ton of them have been killed by the people that they sexualized. But they still do it because they're sickos, man. They're part of a cult, a sex cult that sexualizes other people to take the focus off themselves. I've been already assured that they will meet their end. They said they've already sent people looking for them, but they have CIA toolkits. That whole thing about the CIA toolkit being leaked by some individual was a scam cover story. They'd already given it to people like Rick Henry and Hughes and their people so they could stalk me and stalk others. Right. That was the whole thing. They're hiding behind cloaking devices issued by CIA and similar communities, and they can't find them. But they hope with Kash Patel in there and others that they can find them, and they will meet their end, in prison or otherwise. Again, I'm not telling you all to act out in any way, shape, or form. And a lot of what I'm saying is metaphysical and metaphorical. They will be found. That's how you need to find them. They're hiding behind cloaking devices. CIA and all those people. They're like Pinochet, man. They're psychological warfare assassination squads, genocide squads. They need to meet their end. Again, they cause spiritual blindness, and I can't keep my health up. It's not anything I have to do. There's nothing for me to change. That's their scam. They'll kick in with that every time they do it. Anything they tell you I shouldn't do, they will psychologically operate me to do, if they can. That's the scam. Agreed. Again, they killed Jonathan Nichols. They're murderers. They killed Jonathan Luna. They're murderers. Some of the people that do it actually were friends with Jonathan Luna. That's how sick they are. $1 million is not enough for them. 10 million is not enough. Don't let them listen to you or tell you, make you believe it's something else. It's all about their money grubbing addiction. The money. Right. Always trying to get the next 10 million. Right. Again, they're blocking investigations into certain missing children also. So where's the best place for them? Something place like missing and exploited children. Correct. So you need to find them where they are. They'll show you all their investigations and tell you, yeah, we're great investigators. Now I was able to clear my ears, my ear canals out today and everything. It was really nice. So again, they attacked. So I know where the knot is, and it makes me believe that that ablation would have worked. Right. Because it may be a nerve in my lower back that's causing it to cramp up a little bit. But again, I haven't had intense physical therapy, massage therapy, which is my physical therapy, in years, decades. And again, when I went the last time was just to release everything initially. Again, you're not going to go, even though it was like 10 sessions or 8 sessions. I guess about 8 sessions. You're not going to go for a couple of weeks and have it change. Right? You have to keep going, and then over time, your body relearns. and the stays loose. Again, part of what they're doing is stressing me out to cause that kind of pain syndrome, that kind of tightness. They need to meet their end as soon as possible. Again, I think Monday we start, right? Be a good time for that stuff to start also. Not just the immigrants. We got to take care. We got to get rid of the people that are doing all of that. So remember, they hired the immigrants to be psychological operators. They would promise them citizenship. And they've given them citizenship. But yet, they could be the biggest conservative on earth, too. So again, you have to be careful as to actually where they hide. Oh, no, my congestion was out of control. I still got a little bit of residual. But earlier today, I cleared it. So again, they have too much access. They have too much ability to hack my devices, to hack into my communications with other people, especially video communications. Right. Apparently, what I'm being told, I don't know if it happened, but she's a responsible person. And actually, when I was done, I felt bad for putting her into it. But I was told that my therapist made a complaint to law enforcement. Metaphysically, there's no physical proof of that. That apparently there's some sort of rule or law that she has to report if I'm being abused. And she apparently made a report. I mean, she fully believes me. I mean, she used words that I wouldn't use to describe it. Like almost official sounding words. I didn't think about that. That if I tell her about it, she's obligated to make a complaint to law enforcement. I mean, she took copious notes. I noticed that. She didn't say much. She just kept writing. But, everything I explained to her, I just wanted to give her the thought process, how I assessed it as an investigation, is really what I was majorly doing. Oh, what happened? There's a little switch on my device that turns the microphone off, and somehow, through Satan, it was. Now I'm gonna mute this for a second. All right, I'm back. I don't know, it was the congestion was horrible. It got up to 75 degrees in here. It was like 30-something% humidity or 30% humidity, something like that. And I'm like, how does that even happen? It's like, 18 degrees outside. So it's like 15, now it's 14, but it was 15 degrees outside. I'm trying to get the apartment cool. I opened the door for a little while. I'm like, I got to shut that down. And it just wouldn't cool. Well, one thing I noticed is that I had more mist humidity on. I know it was a pretty bad attack of congestion. And like I said, I don't know how much of it is left over from COVID and how much is this other thing that's going on. I haven't gotten to clean the apartment, so there's a lot of dust in here. I've been steadily doing little things, doing laundry and stuff like that. But I actually have to get the push broom going. I got to get the vacuum cleaner going. I got to mop. Like sure. And I've been inside. Usually I go out a lot. Even when it was this temperature, I would walk. You'd still take a walk and stuff like that. Right. So they're psychologically trying to affect me. And again, I'm pretty good at shutting it down. That's how I stayed alive all these years. But I still report to the Lord what they're projecting. So again, That's another investigation that I can engage in. That I do engage in. I engage in metaphysical investigations. So I know how they've caused veterans to commit suicide, disabled veterans. I know that for a fact. So again, they have a demonic science that they're using. It's not for investigative purposes. It's not to kill the pedophile. It's not to kill the sex offender. They are the sex offender. They are the pedophile. The other reason Epstein could just walk around the earth and have fun all day, while honest people were being, psychologically forced into pedophilia, so they could be the sacrificial lamb. Again, they're in your churches. That's why your churches are. They're in your police departments. That's why your police departments are failing. Right. Again, it's always, prudent to say, well, that person failed us. No, you failed that person. Well, there's a protection. When you're in law enforcement, you're to be protected by your bosses. If they unprotect you, then you become a pedophile or something like that, because that's already out there. That's always out there. Right? There's always a will occurs for a law enforcement officer to become a pedophile or a rapist. So when the deep state took over, they put people out and they had to protect themselves from it. Again, I'm the strongest person when it comes to that stuff. I mean, they've tried to turn me into a gay pedophile for a good 30 years. They use women to do that. And women will move the sexuality in a certain way. And then they'll try to connect it to a child. Physically, they bring children into the view while the women are trying to turn you on. And then the child has visual similarities to the adult woman. That's a 30-year investigation. That's the results of 30 years of investigation as to who these people really are. Again, I use that term loosely. They're devils, demons, antichrists, witches, and sorcerers. I've been receiving insight from certain senators and congressmen in Oklahoma. They will avenge the death of Jonathan Nichols here in the near future. You either disappear these people or they'll be disappeared. Again, the only thing that's been blocking that is that they're hiding behind CIA toolkits and stuff. They can't find them. They said that's going to end. That's part of putting cash for tail to find these people. Again, they're blocking investigations into missing children. But yet they're in societies responsible for investigations into missing children. Thank you. I mean, what do they care? They all get rich. They don't care if the investigation. Actually, they get rich if they allow the investigation to be blocked. I'm just amazed that I was able to clear that congestion. Jeez. They blinded my mind. I couldn't get to the saline solution or saline spray. Saline spray, right? And then it got super hot here. And I spent about a half hour spraying out my nose. I was just glad to clear it. It was a pretty bad attack. Yeah, it comes from curses. They have too much access, too much intrusion. They need to meet their end. Now, they've killed a lot of cops, man. Killed a lot of disabled veterans. And they caused a lot of preachers to fail. Again, they come into a church, they cause the preacher to be sexualized, and then along the way he has sex, and then they use that as a manipulation tool to get the preacher to do what they want. And then like somebody like me comes along and they say, "Oh no, he can't be part of your church. You got to put him out." Yeah, I just felt it. Yeah, I haven't felt itchy eye in a long time. So I just got hit with itchy eye. That's probably dust and dander. I got 2 air purifiers running too. That's why I usually don't feel it. Again, if I had money, I'd have my own house. I'd have my vents cleaned and all sorts of stuff going on. I wouldn't have to deal with this. They knew what they were doing, man. They chose to make this my life. God's got them, believe me. They'll all go to hell. If they don't meet their end here, they'll meet their end in hell. Hell's not created for people that can't get out of their own way. Never was, never will be. Interesting. They have an automatic. So innocence exists. Again, people like Marge Green and others, they have their take on religion, but it's nowhere close to what the scriptures say. They just take the scripture that condemns, which is dangerous. You have to be careful because if you go over a certain line of accusation, who's the accuser? Satan. Again, a lot of people are Christians, but when they're in the political realm, they have to play the game. So there are hidden Christians. Well, it's just strange that a lot of people show up. Again, I was a Florida person, but they destroyed my life there. I had to move on. Right? The Florida system tried paying me on numerous occasions. Well, I think God, at a certain point was when I got injured. Right? And we don't know what they were doing to cause that injury beyond psychology. But God tried to get me to a house. And I psychologically operated my mother. So again, they would call up the sheriff's department and tell them to follow my mother. And all it was to make her afraid to co-sign on a house. Again, it would have been the greatest house for my mother. It was, I just couldn't convince her because they had feared her. Maybe drugged her even. I don't know. Just a totally different person when they did that to her. So I probably had a house in Cape Coral. And it was just perfect for her because she didn't, she had the pool on the canal there on Gulf Shore Boulevard for that, the condo society used. And most of the time, nobody was there. I mean, like 3 months out of the year, people were there. The rest of the year, it was just her, I, and a couple other people. The building guy, building manager guy, my mother and I, and probably a couple of other people. That was it. I mean, the whole Gulf Shore Boulevard, there was just a handful of people here and there anyway. But the house in Cape Coral was perfect. It had the whole back side of the house would just open up to a screened-in area and a little, I wouldn't say a personal pool, but those smaller pools they have in Florida. Right. And then there were 3 bedrooms inside. There was one flaw in the house, but I already had figured out how to fix it. I think they were a little bit off on sizing the second bathroom. So it had a shower, and when you faced the shower head, it was a little narrow. I mean, you could stand there, but it just didn't feel like the right dimensions. It probably needed another about 6 inches to a foot. Right. But what I realized is you just take a pipe, or you get somebody take a pipe, run it from that where it comes out of the wall along the wall, and then you put like 3 shower heads so that you're actually facing the long wall instead of facing the narrow short wall. And then it would feel normal. Because I went inside the shower, I stood there for a second, and I said, well, what if I shift this way? Oh, that feels normal. Right. They had the shower head in the wrong spot. That was very nice, like a Mediterranean-looking house near the golf course, the public golf course. So Florida was trying to set up my life. I mean, there was no reason not to, but there's no way to lose money in that house. There was just absolutely no way. At $110,000, there was no way. Had a California closet, all that wood and all that. The master bedroom was real nice, all tile. Like $110,000. I guess that was about. I don't remember when we looked at that. I don't know if it was before Indiana or after. It'd have been great. My mother would have enjoyed it. Like she'd come up there and live with me for a while. But she was like, they had like brainwashed her into Naples. Like Naples was the place to be. So I don't think her mind could comprehend the success of purchasing that home. Well, she could just chill out in the pool and live in one of the bedrooms in that other house. And then every once in a while, I'll go back down to Naples. She could actually rent out her place in Naples and make money while she stayed with me. It was a win-win situation, but I'm sure they started following her. I could tell. And I got her to say some things, but she wouldn't say everything. But again, my whole future would have changed. And there's high ceilings and all of that. The bedrooms weren't extremely high. I think they were like 9 foot or 10 foot, but the center of the house was that cathedral type of ceiling going up. Right. Probably about 12, 14 foot. Again, that's the same stuff that you went on to. I almost got a house also, like I said, in Huntsville, Alabama. That was probably a nice place to live. And again, it was still during some of the economic downturn, so I could really get a nice house for a great price. Now, I had fallen asleep, but I woke up with a ton of congestion. I was sick because it was 75 degrees in here and like 30-something% humidity. Yeah, in fact, I just turned the heater on, put it up to 70 degrees, and I could feel the difference in the air. Dust mites come alive. I'll have to drop down that heat a little bit. No, I don't believe that we can absolutely function without immigration. I'm not 100% with Bannon on that, but again, I'm not against what he's trying to put forward. I believe the United States citizen was sold out. Right. Only because of the sheer number of people that we need. Well, again, when you talk about the working man or the lower income person, the everyday person, if you cause inflation, then it doesn't help them either. I mean, a small amount, okay, but if you're talking about all American labor, and again, Bannon points out that they're not being paid very much. Right. But that does reduce costs. So again, the idea is to find a happy medium, that middle ground of immigration and U.S. workers. Again, like I tried to say, when it came to like construction, they would have union people, U.S. union people, and then they would have um, immigrant labor mixed in. So the U.S. union person would be like almost a supervisor, even though they were just a regular, construction person. But eventually, what started happening is the contractors became immigrants and would only hire immigrants. So again, they kind of took over and wrote the average American out. No, I believe if in Amarillo, if I could have found the right massage therapist, again, when they interfere with my relationship, and I still don't know what it completely is. Apparently, the people at Massage Envy, their opinion is that they're independent stores mainly. And anything that went on in another franchise, they want nothing to do with. Because, for all I know, Massage Envy used my case as an example. Apparently, there's been training and other things since then. I do agree with the safety protocols that were developed at Massage Envy and Hand and Stone. I do. Again, I don't know what happened. I was the massage therapist guy. I was the guy promoting massage therapy, promoting Massage Envy. A bunch of crooks came in and fucked that up, to put it bluntly. Whether they were affiliated with law enforcement or not is neither here nor there. My description still stands.
Thank you, Larry.
Oh, I was the Massage Envy cheerleader. Again, I helped guide the industry. Helped guide a lot of industries inside.
Thank you, Larry.
But again, because they didn't let me have my money, I can't get anywhere. Again, that was intentional. And that includes Rick Henry, Karen Shelton, Marshall Hughes, possibly Jonathan Luna's former girlfriend.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Larry.
I mean, it's all strategized by people that had more knowledge and weren't as, I was really kind of naive. And they are part of corrupt and criminal families. Because they have money, we're supposed to what? Worship their family? No, they were trying to. I felt like they were trying to push me out. And again, there was no place to go and to get massage in Santa Fe that I could afford. So I was like, well, it doesn't make sense. I'll just push. And the more I pushed, the more they did crazy stuff. Again, they're paying people at the same time and bringing them in. Again, if they had never done that, I never would have had this struggle. Would have had a smooth life. Because there never would have been additional damage. And they knew that. Again, she's trying to curse my head over it. Hell with her and hell with her family and hell with her people. And whoever she is, she is. But I see her here. She will meet her end in hell. So again, their scam is to take over religion and then say that's all there is. Alter the religion, take it over, and say, oh, that's all the religion is. You want to project, I'll tell everybody you're here. Miss Hide behind CIA toolkits. Now, cash details going to be confirmed. Pam Bondi will be confirmed. Don't project your bullshit. Again, if you do the investigation right, you'll find that some Republicans are going to be included. Now, I already had the congestion issue before. Again, it could have been from COVID. I don't know, but I before I knew I had COVID, I had a congestion issue. Again, that's from the drip. The drip triggers my coughing. Doctor actually brought that up the other day. I said, well, is it from the drip? I said, well, yeah, I do get gag reflex from the drip and stuff. No, there was no life the whole time. I mean, I was younger and healthier, so it was easier to move past. They could be triggering, again, they could be drugging their victim and triggering the tightness also. Again, remember, I was fine, scheduled surgery, They broke in, wanted me to know they broke in, and then within a couple of days, I was sick. There's no doubt they broke in. No, she's killed a lot of people around here, man. A lot of family members looking for him, including cops. You're a murderer, man. Father is the devil. They're all murderers. Their father is the devil. Yeah, remember they were hiring illegal immigrants, promising them citizenship, and gave them citizenship for harming U.S. citizens. Again, that's also in the H-1B world, not just in the Latino world. Hired them as spy operators. Yeah, I still feel that knot. Like I said, when I was in getting massages, they used to work knots out. There's no way that anybody thought it. If they used representation that I was, healed at that point and that they could block my massage, based upon me being medically healed, then that would be bullshit. I spent, I spent 2 hours at a time in the massage, and they spent probably an hour on my back doing knots. Because I don't know what the representations were. But there's no doubt that the supposed owner, the black guy, was trying to hit on me every time I walked in by walking to the door and staring at me. The door was his office. And then he would stalk me at Staples or at Sprouts after we canceled my membership. There was somebody paying to make me gay. There's no doubt. Still out there. Could have been Rick Henry for all I know. I'm sure he spent a lot of money trying to do something to me. It's just funny money to them. It's government money. It's funny money. They just make a bullshit case and give it a number. Rick Henry's probably supposed to be in prison for the money that he spent trying to do me. Just that alone, would do it. Gotcha doesn't work. You're all bound for hell. God got you, so you're all bound for hell. Now, my O2 is fine. I said that in the other one because they're trying to, fear me. It's like 98, 99. They just got a lot of snot. There it is, 99. I stuck my finger in. Well, I'll just let you know. When you do that, you really, they don't do it at the hospital, so nobody does it. You should actually clean your fingers with alcohol, or you're not going to get an accurate reading, especially if you use a hand sanitizer. It coats your finger. It's not going to be way off. Maybe 1 to 2 points. If you use like hand sanitizer or hand cleaner with like aloe or something like that, then it shoots it way off. I learned that a long time ago. I learned that during the first COVID go around. They're telling you to use hand sanitizer, so I'm using this stuff with the aloe so my hands don't dry. And I'm like, something's wrong with my oxygen? It wasn't way below, I think, normal, but it was below my normal. I'm like, what's going on? And I'm like, something, I got a buzz in the head. Wipe your hands down with alcohol. Wipe my hands down with alcohol. Put it in there. It goes back up 2 points. No, I don't take I didn't even have a sensor. I actually had one, but I didn't know where it was. So I'm not here also. It's just while I go through this, I do it just to verify that that the snot is just snot and it's not affecting the breathing. Right. So, but in good faith, I can't go to that appointment on Monday. I was hoping, like when I cleared it this morning, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make that. Like I would have canceled it today or yesterday, actually. I guess. Wait, what's today? It's oh, my power's going down. I'll be offline soon. That's Sunday. Yeah. Oh, I thought it was Saturday. Right? Oh shoot. Yeah, I was probably supposed to cancel it yesterday or the day before. But actually, yesterday morning, yes, I was pretty clear, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to make that appointment. But at this point, I really probably, right. Like I said, the way it works is the system is saying no, and we all live in that system. You may not know the system says no, but it says like if the appointment was at a private doctor's office, they wouldn't care, but because it's at the hospital, they don't want me walking into the hospital with possible COVID. Again, I'm probably not infectious, but right. Again, I just would get, normally you would just get the inference, hey, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go to the appointment. Right. But I can get, not usually, but sometimes I'll get information behind it. You got to keep those people away from me. They're blinding my mind so I can't heal. They spend all day doing that. Spent decades doing it. Like I said, anybody in Naples, Florida affiliated with me is suspect. I was stuck in something and I was trying to neutralize it by just kind of ignoring it, moving through it. But I believe almost every single person that I interacted with in Naples was a corrupt piece of shit, being paid by a corrupt boss. So everybody in those gyms needs to be looked at and see how many people they killed. Sicko pieces of shit. Well, stay peaceful. Praise God and all that you do. Praise God.